Well, it's warm and it's toasty, and we're back at Betty's place. Finally starting to work on the exterior project everybody's been asking about and mentioning, is getting some fresh paint on here. But before we can get some fresh paint on it, we need to prepare the entire mobile home, which this paint is like super flaky. Look at that. That's the yellow paint, just came right off. Completely oxidized. So we're going to have to scrub the entire home, maybe even twice, before we even pressure wash this place, so that we know all the oxidization and unsticky paint won't interfere with the new paint and just flake off, causing the brand new paint to look as poor as the last people's paint job did. My sister looks like a red lobster. She literally looks like something we'd get as a lobster special. And it's her day off, so she's been working on this since like early this morning. And I just got here after work.
7:30. Got rants.
And so the process we're doing is we're using scrub brushes that are stiffer on poles. We're dipping it in a TSP product and scrubbing a section down. And because you don't actually want that TSP to dry, it has to be rinsed off before it gets completely dried into a section. And then we'll scrub it again and then rinse it off, and we'll just keep moving throughout the home until we've gotten the entire thing done at least once. Then we'll do a full pressure wash again for the second time and do the good old-fashioned finger test to decide if it's oxidized, like that right there with it white, or if it needs it again. That way we know the paint will adhere to the siding, because we don't think she's going to redo the siding out here for at least 2 years, just because of the prices of everything, wood, material, etc. So we're going to get started working and scrubbing. Enjoy that for a little while before we get into the next point. It sucks that this has to be done this way, but this home sat abandoned for 5 years before Betty even touched it. So it was uncared for and basically just left to rot. And if all goes smoothly, by the end of this video, we'll have a clean home, a painted home, painted trim, and if we're really, really lucky and get everything done in time, we'll even have trim around all the windows. So I don't know if you guys could see it on the picture. It is flaking off all over the place. This is the north side of the home. Betty worked on this morning for hours and hours, most of the day. And then the east side of the home for several hours before I got here. I've finished the south side of the home. Still got to do the west side. And we still have problems where some of the paint is just flaking off from the paint that the original people had painted this with, a white paint and a brown paint. Now, where the white paint is, they must have had some major oxidizing, because it is just flaking off. So where we're sitting now is, I think what we're gonna have to do, I'll scrub the last wall. Her electric pressure washer is great, but it's not powerful enough to take the paint that's flaking off easily, and it's leaving a bunch behind that's still just flaking. So I'm going to bring in the big gas-powered pressure washer from work tomorrow, pressure wash the holy Moses out of this, and then she may potentially get started on some of her primer work for the rust areas on the skirting, and do most of that skirting paint before I do some pressure washing on this side. As long as she has a good couple hours for it to dry before I get here with the pressure washer after work, we should be able to just pressure wash this down so that the next day we can go ahead and totally go at painting this place. Okay, it's the next day. It's cloudy, a little bit overcast. somewhat cooler because the sun isn't direct, but still warm today. It's in the mid-90s. I'm going to talk to you here real quick. Betty is currently working with the gas-powered pressure washer and getting that final rinse done. After this is done, starting tomorrow, we can start doing all the painting we want to do. I don't know how well you'll hear, it's really noisy. But let's see if we can get a close-up. So it feels like rain over there. We're gonna work on getting the whole house done. The worst spots are right up front here. This is where we're gonna have to put the most focus. She's working her way from the back to the front. We'll just see what we get done here on this side. It's definitely working. It's taking off the paint and more chips, and that final bit of oxidizing is coming off. Hopefully you can hear me with this. The difference on the front is actually quite immense. It really took that extra paint and stuff off. And same on the side, like we're down to the actual aluminum on some of it. So it should be way better for the paint job when we get started tomorrow. Okay everybody, it's the next day. It's actually 8:05 at night. It's still 87 degrees out. We have to wait till it's this late just to paint, because you really don't want to paint when it's over 90, because the metal on these homes can get too hot and it'll just mess with your paint, gets sticky, re-sticks to the roller. That's all besides the point. But it's time to get the exterior of this home looking better. We've scrubbed it, pressure washed it a second time, done everything we could to get as much of the crud off as possible so that we know that this paint will stick and last as long as possible. I've only seen a swatch and barely been told what the main body color is. She picked a color called Pine Whisper. She's really excited, so it's going to be really cool for her to see this color when she gets home from work today. Betty is at work right now. She closes the location where she's at today. So I'm going to get started and paint as long as possible. It might be 9:15, 9:30 before I'm done when the sun finally goes down. We'll just see how far we get today. Oh, wow, that's different. No peeking. All right, I'm probably as excited as you guys to see this. Let's see what this new color is going to look like. This will be the first sneak peek before I start rolling. Ooh. I don't know how well it comes across on the camera with the colors. I'm gonna tell you what, guys, this color reminds me a lot of what my kitchen cabinets look like. Do a little pre-cut in right here before I actually grab the roller and just get some on there. I like it. It's kind of soft. Not a bad choice. It's green.
Yay! Yeah, it's pretty green. It's
Yep.
Pine Whisper.
It's Pine Whisper. Pine Whisper. It's green.
I say it just like that.
It looks like my cabinets.
It reminds me of my dad.
So the way I prefer to paint a mobile home, I do the main color first on all the main portion of the siding. It's quick, it's simple, you can get out of the way. Then I like to do the trims, top and or bottom, just depends color-wise. Then if you have any drips, of course you can wash it off, as well as come back and do any touch-ups afterwards. Then finish down below on the skirting, do any porch work, anything like that. I find it faster that way, instead of just trying to be along the top the whole way and then try to work yourself up, because when you're on the ground running against this part of the trim, you're going to end up touching it, especially if you're just trying to do this quickly. I could sit here and just try to do it away from it, but then I got to cut that whole thing in, and that would be extremely time consuming, doing a cut in there plus still have to do the trim above it. So as long as I'm near one of these vinyl windows, I kind of want to fill you in on what the plan is. The main body and the skirting are going to be the same color. The trim at the top and the trim right here is going to be a second color. We're going to trim around the windows, and we basically just decided to use wood trim, wood siding trim. It's going to go around all the windows. That way we can get a bead of silicone behind it as a secondary guard against weather and stuff getting into the window. And those will be painted. Now, I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be painted the trim color or if they're all just going to be painted white. And that is only going to be on all the vinyl windows, not the 2 aluminum windows we still have left. The reason for that is those aluminum windows are eventually going to be replaced. She's down to 2 to go, and that's all the windows in the house. But yeah, so that's kind of the plan. There'll be a 4-inch trim all the way around this window, all the way around the living room window, all the way around the dining room window and the other living room window, and just a nice 4-inch trim around it. It might be white, it might be matching this trim color. It's really up to Betty. She might even buy a whole different color altogether for it. Okay, it's 9:15 at night. I don't know how well the color is going to come in. Happened to make it all the way from there to there. It was a fast light coat, but not bad for about an hour and 5 minutes. Used about 3/4 of the gallon to get that far. And like I said, it is a light coat. I didn't worry about getting super detailed on the brushwork. We're going to worry about that on my day off. Deal with that later. Like I say, big goal, just get most of the main paint on and kind of see where we're sitting. So, catch you guys tomorrow and see where we're at. Okay, it's a fresh day, and yesterday while I was at work and Betty was home before she went to work, she went ahead and painted from there up to here and made it around the front. Keeping in mind, these are really fast light coats. We're actually going to be putting on 2 really light coats for the main body. So there's a little bit of spotting here and there, but during the second coat when it goes on, that'll cover that up. So we've gotten literally 1/2 of the main body done on that first light coat. And I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I don't know if I want to just keep moving on the main body color around the back side or get the second coat done on this side. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on moving around the other side. And I know my dad's supposed to be along shortly. He might do trim paint or something, I don't know. We're still debating. We're thinking we want to spray the bottom, but we do have to worry about the air and stuff, so we'd have to do it on a really not windy day to spray the skirting. Spraying the skirting might be a little bit faster and a lot easier considering we don't want to touch the ground with anything. It's still kind of up in the air, but let's do this. All right, all of the main body has been hit one time through, other than doing little touch-ups and any remaining cut-in, which you can see my dad's working on some of it. So the next thing we're gonna do is start painting the top trim and painting this section of trim before we get to the bottom area, which she's gonna do in the same color. The bottom we wanted to spray if we can, at least most of it, because this is gonna be very difficult to paint. And then once we've done the top cap in its trim color, we'll come back through and do any touch-ups there. So that's when we're gonna come back and do the final touch-ups. Anything we might have missed, if you look really close, there might be a spot somewhere. Now, her trim color, I honestly have no clue what it is, other than it's called Queen Anne's Lace. So let's take a look and see what we get down here.
Skipping on to the next one anyway, huh?
A little bit.
Goodness, that's gonna take forever.
Yeah. So I gotta have one of these fancy brushes.
That's fancy.
Yeah. That's enough of a sneak peek. I need to get up top and get started on it. It's not white. I don't know. Let's show you up close. It's not really a white, and it's not really a yellow or a tan. It's very cream color. All right, I'm gonna hit a ladder. Get started up top where we actually have to put this color right now. Oh no, it's getting too gooey. I'm gonna make a mess already. I can just see it. All right, let's see. Okay, we did the sample painting down here on the skirting, and it is gonna take forever to do this with a roller or a brush. So we've decided to go get the 600 watt sprayer that I've had put away in the shed for a while, and we're just gonna spray the bottom. Took the time to clean up along it. My dad's literally sweeping the skirting right now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get started spraying. Yes, we're probably gonna have to come back through and do some touch up along here, but I think it's gonna make the skirting go a lot faster. Okay, so we've taken the time to thin the paint. It's water-based paint, so we literally just went ahead and thinned it with a little bit of water. Not too much. I didn't use a paint thinner because if it's a water-based paint, water will be fine, it'll evap. Now, I'm not gonna be able to do a huge area all at once, but this little guy I've got that I've had for a long time, it's gonna let me do about a quart at a time. Quart should get me at least a quarter to a third of the way along the bottom as I just keep pushing through. For power, I'm using my A-free portable power system because none of us have a cord long enough to go from there to here right now. So around this side, I'm just gonna use this. It's gonna be easier to maneuver around quickly. So between here, the roller will reach, the smaller roller inside especially, the little weenie roller.
The 7-inch wide, whatever, with the 1-inch diameter or whatever.
Yeah, that's gonna do between here, great. These are gonna be uphill.
Right, yeah.
And of course the bottom.
Yeah.
So my focus with this is to try and just...
You want me to try and put some tape along the bottom?
If you want. It'll just help us not have to do...
You're pretty good there, not getting too close. Just
It is
tape.
spraying it though, but...
Yeah, it's getting on it.
Yeah, it's generally accurate. Okay, not bad so far. We wanted to get along the ground first, then along this. We're gonna do the whole home. That way we know we've got enough of this already prepared container to go all the way around. Then I can either spray the middles or roll them, because the middle between these bump outs actually rolls pretty decently with a small wiener roller, you know, little 1-inch weenie rollers. So gonna work on getting all the way around. We'll double back when we're at this point. I guess everybody's out here getting their fair share of work in, putting in some work. It's happening fast. The sprayer was a definitely excellent fast choice for getting this ground area done quicker. So I just love how efficient these things can be. It's one thing I do love about spraying. It's just so much more efficient. But I sure hate the cleanup. Spraying this was definitely the way to go. Especially we sprayed the skirting, and that was going to be the plan most of the time, because rolling and brushing along the bottom of the dirt and the grass just makes your rollers and stuff so dirty. This is just so much better. Well, we're not done, but here's a sneak peek. Looks pretty good. That's already 100 times better than what it was. Can't wait to see it all done and get the trim around the windows. Step at a time, but we're moving through. All right, we're down to the last bit of the paint, which is going to be all of the top cap and then another coat on this bottom cap. We're going to try and get 2 coats on the top cap, but definitely 1 for now. And we're going to try and do the vast majority of it from down here at ground level, because we think we can move faster. So I've gotten a really small 6-inch roller, of course an extension. We're just going to see how well this will work, rolling most of it from down here like so. Get the whole entire first coat done. I think that'll actually go pretty fast doing it that way. Even when it comes to the second coat, when we're ready, oh yeah, this will be a lot quicker. The only thing is, I think we're going to have to carry some rags with us for any possible touches or drips to the main siding, because we've gotten both of our coats on this, both of the coats down there, a couple of touch-ups because we already have dripped. So we'll come back and do that at the end. But yeah, I think this will work out pretty good. Let's see how quick we can get this done like this. Okay, with 2 different rollers, I think I got the fastest process down, so I'm gonna start bebopping around and see how far I get. I'm really hoping to get all this paint done today, because the next things is gonna be to go pick up the stuff we're gonna be using for Betty's trim, and then of course for door trim. We have to paint the back door white. We're gonna paint the back porch white. I think we're gonna paint the front porch white for now too, if there's enough leftover white, but it's not necessarily, because she is eventually gonna have a deck up here, so she really doesn't want to waste money if she doesn't have to either. And then we got to cut that trim down, pre-paint it all, put it up. That's probably going to be the next video, but let's see how far we get here. We were able to get the top trim and the bottom trim done on this side. And then did the back side too. And we got one coat on all of this side. And then the one thing you don't want to happen happened. We have ran out of paint. Betty's gonna have to pick up some more for white because almost all of it definitely needs a second coat of paint. But 1 gallon did all the trim you see. And I think less than a gallon will get all the rest of the trim. And then the rest of that'll be used for the window trim that we're gonna be doing as the next project for getting this exterior looking good. I can tell you it looks easily 100 times better than it did before, even with just one coat, and still needing to do some very small brush touch-ups here and there. Bottom turned out really good. I really like the skirting going vertical and being painted clean like this. Just looks way better. But yeah, Betty's gonna get home from work here soon, and I think she's really gonna enjoy this. Looks a lot better than it did.